Yo, what's good, you YouTubers? It is the Greatest Noob T-Bird 325. Sorry you can barely see that. I got the light off. I'm using natural light from the outside. Okay, I'm going to come at you with a deck profile from a deck that I used to play. Well, I still play it. It is my main deck, although it is not my most played deck. I still consider it my main deck because I use this and I actually topped the regionals with it. And while everybody else had a theme, I had none. This deck does everything and nothing all at the same time. Now, some people might say, oh, it's just nothing more than a Monarch deck. No, it is not a Monarch deck because I do things that Monarch deck don't. I just do everything and nothing at the same time. So to get into it, I call it the 40 cards of randomness. It actually is 41 cards, and only 2 cards repeat. So keep in mind, all these cards are just cards that I liked, and I put them together, and it just happened to work because I went to a regionals, well, Shonen Jump in Houston, back when it was called Shonen Jump, and back in '08, and I went with Refugee Burn and lost miserably. Play testing it around here in Lake Charles, I got a lot of good draws and OTKs, and well, it's one turn kills with Refugee or bad reaction. When I went out there, that was not the case. That didn't happen. So that night, somewhere probably around midnight, I said I can't go with this deck. So I took a whole bunch of cards that I liked, and I think most of them at the time were just like commons and rares and whatnot, and super rares. So I took those cards, put them together, and actually ended up placing I want to say it was 8th. I didn't look at the standings afterward. All I know is I had to go against G Hopper 85 in the first top 8 match. This is back when you actually got packs for placing top 8. You got packs, a shirt. I wonder why they don't do shirts anymore. Guess I'll ask Julia that. You got packs, shirts, I want to say a mat, and your invite. That was it. Okay, without further ado, and shout outs, Team Deck Records, Team Truth, Holy Cheetos, Mr. VCTRFS, pretty cool dude, Underworld, 6667, they got some pretty good videos as well. Let's see who else we got here. FGX3, Joey Rules, 86, Team Gaius, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beijing Coke, Panda Bear, Haha, and Kazekage of the Sand. That's just my randoms. Okay. Now, without further ado, you're going to get to see the magic that is the 40 cards of randomness. Alright. So, the first card I like, Tribute. I'm going to start with the Tribute monsters first. Jinzo. Jinzo negates traps. Okay, he's on par with the Monarch. Alright, if they let him hit the field, no traps can be activated, and all the face-up traps are going to be negated. So, next, Caius. I run 1 Caius. Caius is my removal. Knock off something off the field. If it's a dark, they burn for 1,000. That's 1/8 of what I had to do, of the work I had to do. Alright, next one, Mobius. For the sacrifice of a monster, I could pop 2 back cards, no matter if it's my own. I can knock off my opponent's back cards, which might be Mirror Force and Cylinder, whatever. I got them off the field with this 1 monster. Mr. Spin City, Ryza. Take something big that's in your way, like a Stardust Dragon, a Colossal Fighter, anything, any synchro monster, just anything that's in your way that you can't get over. Spin it back to the top of your opponent's deck. Plain and simple. Or its owner's deck, sorry. But I'm going for my opponents. I'm not going to be spinning my stuff. Thestalos. Yes, I play Thestalos. Because getting that all-important card, in that 1 card in your hand, is crucial at times. Because if I don't do it and you draw your second card and you make a combo and come out with 8 cards off of those 2 cards, I'm going to be pissed at myself. I used to run Zaborg over Caius, but that's back when the format was when Caius had just come out, like just after it. So, alright, so 1 Cyber Dragon. Free special summon if my opponent controls a monster. Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Let's see if you can see that. There we go. Kaiku. Love Kaiku because if I deal battle damage, I can knock off 2 of your monsters in the graveyard. Haha, you were going for that. Now you gotta work for it again. Breaker. Magical Warrior. If he's allowed to summon and get his counter, and then I can remove his counter, well then I'll pop in your bad card. Oh, Mirror Force, die. Haha. Spirit Dragon. Too many people playing Spirit Reaper. But then again, like I said, way back then they played Spirit Reaper. And they played little low monsters. So I like piercing through defense. He whips his head back and forth. Mr. Wildheart. Blackie Chain. There you go. There we go. Okay. So he's unaffected by traps. He's 15. He's a warrior. So I can toolbox him with reinforcements. I can summon him, activate Torrential, and clear the whole field while he's stuck there. Gets around the Mirror Force, deep prisons. Basically any trap that'll try to target him won't happen. Miss Dee. Miss Dee. Surprise. I can put her face down. You attack her with a synchro. Well, since she's going to be destroyed anyway, let's remove her from play. My boy from the Dark Scorpions, Donnie Z. Let's see, right up here. Danzalug, Mr. Edited from having guns to swords. Who carries a bullet belt with swords? And then not just any swords, it's like these weird looking swords. It's crazy. Yeah, y'all messed up on that one. But I use him because either I can take a card from your hand or the top 2 of your deck. Now, if I know what you have in your hand and it's not threatening to me, I'm gonna leave you with those cards in your hand, and I just knock off the top 2 of your deck, because that's the difference between you top decking a Heavy Storm, a Dark Hole, a Monster Reborn, a Call the Haunted, or something crazy like that. So I don't need you to be doing that against me. Because he is limited, and I wanted to add synchros into the deck. At first the deck had no synchros whatsoever. It worked well on its own. But if I can synchro off in the deck, I will use it. So Gale the Whirlwind. Crap. There we go. Gale the Whirlwind, half the biggest monster on the field. And then next turn we're going to knock him off. Krebins. I pay 800 of my life points to negate all of your attacks. Alright, that's fine with me because I'm a tribute for a monarch, or I'm gonna summon something else and I'm gonna tune off. Kind of sucks now that Goyo's banned because I have a lot of level 4s that I can go off into, but now I'll have to use either Brionic or 6-star Nobody. Spell Striker, Monarch Fodder, Injection Killer. This boy's dangerous. Yeah, give him like mage powers and equips. Attack directly. Bad boy. So basically use a magic card, get him out, or if you already have one in the graveyard, remove it to special summon, tribute for a tribute monster. It's just that simple. My baby girl, Miss Injection Fairy Lily. Man, is it really starting to flare up that much? That sucks. Let's see if this will make a difference. Not much. Crap. That kind of sucks. Well, anyway. So we have Injection. Seemingly small. Level 3. 400. Pay 2,000 during damage calculation. And she will beat up one of your biggest monsters in the field. Singing. Toolbox. He leaves the field. I am going to get something small from my deck to my hand, which of course I'm going to get something that I can actually use at the time. Oh, Vindictive Magician. Why not kill a monster? Kill something. Apprentice Magician. 2 reasons. Put a counter on Breaker, break a back row. If you're destroyed by battle, get out Apprentice Magician. Oh, Vindictive Magician. Crystal Seer. Once again, Apprentice Magician. Depending on what I need at the time, I can either go for this one or this one. So, the Apprentice Engine, basically. One of each. Marshmallow. Cute little profile that says, I'm here to stay. Take 1,000 after damage calculation if you attack the face down. So, yeah. I like doing I like inflicting damage to you without having to work for it. So that's the second card that I have here that is going to do damage to you. So that is 2,000 damage so far of just monsters. So that is 1/4 of what I've had to work for because you did that. You attacked into it. I sacrificed for Kai's. Remove your dark monster. Now you down 2,000 life points. And that's not saying if I got to attack your life points directly. Last but not least, one of my favorite cards, Morphing Jar. I tend to need cards in my hand so I can actually know what I'm going to do to counter what you're going to do. So Morphing Jar is perfect. Magic cards. Uno y dos. Creature swaps. Creature swaps. Why do you ask that? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Is that the reason why I give it to him? Yeah. Those 3 cards right here are the reason why I use creature swap. Singing activates in my graveyard. Apprentice Magician activates in my graveyard or my remove from play zone. And Morphing Jar, when it's flipped up, it will activate to drop our hands and draw 5 new cards. And if my opponent already had like 3 or 4 cards in their hand, then guess what? They're just going to drop their cards. They're not going to be too happy about it. Okay, next. Econ. Enemy controller. Sacrifice my singing, take your biggest monster. So that's pretty good to me, and not to mention set your monster sideways if you're coming at me. Dark Hole, staple. I like stalling. Alright, stalling is good for me, so that's 3 turns of stall I can do. Now, in combination with Giant Trunade, wait 2 turns, activate Giant Trunade, pick it back up. So that's 5 turns I get to stall against you. Reinforcements gets DD Warrior Lady, Wild Heart, Spell Striker, Danzalug. Pretty much it. Monster Destruction, if I need to pitch something to the graveyard, there it goes. For if I need to pitch something for Pot of Avarice or something like that, which takes me to Pot of Avarice. Always need to get the cards to get up there. MST for my back row destruction. Trap cards. This is Bottomless and a Trap Hole, but it's supposed to be 2 Bottomless, but since Bottomless are hard to come by, I took the Bottomless out of here and replaced it with a Trap Hole. Obviously, you want to get rid of the big monsters that are about to make big plays against you. You don't like that. Call the Haunted. If they MST my Call of the Haunted and sing into my graveyard, I'm going to activate it. Get an extra singing effect. Why not? Toolbox. Something to think about. Ceasefire. Who doesn't flood the field nowadays? I hate people that flood the fields, especially against me. I don't like you flooding. So we'll say you flood with 4 monsters. I have 3. Well, guess what? You're gonna take, let's say, 2,000, 3,500 damage. Well, guess what? You just taken 5,500 damage. We're just right there. I like saying no to big plays. Force back. Do not come at me with that big monster that you attributed for. So now you have to set you back a turn. Do it again. Cylinder. People are running warnings and judgments. I'm running Akai's, Ceasefire, Marshmallow, and Cylinder. You might burn for game. You might burn. At first I didn't have one of these in there. It used to be Widespread Ruin, but now it's a Mirror Force. Staple. Torrential. Toolbox, staple. Wild Heart gets out of the Torrential and kills everything else. Why not? Dimension Wall, the last trap card I have. Dimension Wall says basically if I have no monsters, it's a magic cylinder. So if I have either one on the field, you are probably not going to like me if you're attacking, because this does not target. So your Thought Ruler, if you thought that you were going to pay 1,000 to negate it, you won't, because the damage I would have taken is only inflicted to you. So this has been my 40 cards of randomness by the Greatest Noob. If you have any questions, concerns, video ideas, just make sure you hit me up. Just PM me. You can text me at the cell phone number 337-426-1303.